You don't even have to know who I am. You don't even have to like my YouTube channel. But I'm not even giving you an introduction because who I am and what I like and what I enjoy does not matter. What matters is the greatness of My Hero Academia, episode 13, aka episode 76. And just the pure epicness of what went down in today's episode. Okay. Yes. I lost my stuff watching this episode. I knew it was coming, but let's be real. The animation done 100% way better than what I expected it to do compared to the manga. I mean, like every episode that's been in this season has been fantastic and wonderful, and they've adapted the manga perfectly. But to me, they went well and above and beyond in this episode because it was just that wonderful. And week in and week out on my channel, I constantly say I read the manga to a certain point and I know what's coming to a certain point. And I can't help but feel some type of way because I know what's coming next week. I know exactly what's coming next week. And for the anime only watchers, I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys can put two and two together. You know what's coming next week. But at the same time, knowing that and still watching everything, I was still... The sadness that is coming next week had me feeling some type of way this whole episode when I was watching this whole episode. That was just playing in the back of my mind. But I couldn't just... My eyes was just glued to the screen because all of the epicness that was happening made me forget everything. It was in the back of my mind and I was like, it's happening next week. But I didn't even care about that because I was just watching Deku go ham against Chisaki, aka Overhaul. It was just, oh my bad. It was just that wonderful, and they done such a fantastic job, and I love the highlights and like the real nice and restitution type colors we got on Deku with him being tapped into Aries' power and maximizing one for all full cowling. My mind is so... We went 100% this episode. Like a full 100% with no drawbacks. Like, yeah, there's going to be some major drawbacks eventually because, you know, Aries' power lets her tap into this. But the whole time it's reverting Deku back. And just the whole time it's keep reverting him back. But he keeps pumping out injuries so it doesn't revert him back too far. So I understand the concept behind it, but when it's all said and done, we know he's just gonna break like a glass on dropping on concrete because at the same time we know what's happening, but at the same time he's pushing out some pain and he's breaking his arm and his leg and everything to reciprocate that the Aries healing and to do it so it doesn't revert him back too far and erase him away. But okay, let's talk about the episode, man. We got everything that we could have wanted. We got to see Ryuko and everybody in her little girl squad. They were going ham against the dude, and I love the fact that we got to see the dude. They done it very well in the manga. It was very nice, and you can tell. But like sometimes it kind of felt like it got a little lost in the manga to me. With the steroid or whatever, the drug that kind of just showed how dude was using his powers, the big buff dude. But they animated very, very well in the anime, and you can see it. They added the colors and everything, and so it was nice to see that. But I enjoyed that little fight scene. But the most wonderful part that was aside from Deku and Chisaki was when Toga came in and portrayed Deku. Uravity, come over here and we bring you guys over here, and this is where you got to do it over here on this ground part. And then they bust into the ground, and it was like, Deku, what are you doing here? And then they realized that it was the League of Villains because at that time we also got Twice's and Toga's plan that they had planned last week into fruition, and we saw what it was. They created a copy of the dude that can like teleport the little things, and they used him and everything, and then they pushed him down the hole because they wanted him. At that point, we already know they severed ties with Chisaki, and they were doing their own thing. And now that they know how he has the power to take away people's quirk and boost the steroids and everything, they know everything now. They don't need him anymore. So they sent in the dude's copy to steal Eri, and we knew that wasn't going to happen. But at the same time, it was nice to see that, and also that gave Uravity and everyone else opportunity to see that the League of Villains is making their move now. But they can't really focus on them because of right now the League of Villains aren't really participating in everything right now. They're kind of just sitting back watching everything because Deku and Overhaul are going into a full-blown fight, man. Yes, and I love the whole scene. I don't know if anybody else is going to touch on this in their reactions or whatever, or reaction reviews or reviews, but I love the whole scene when Eri was having the flashback moment of Mirio saving her and the whole cape being involved. And when Deku went to save her, they cut out all audio. Then they started playing a nice song, and then when Deku was like right there to closing in on touching her, he came. We heard his voice actor call out to her, and she reached out to him. And the score and the song was playing in the background. It was so nice, and it was so much going together that it was so wonderful. This episode had a lot of stuff going in. Overhaul, overall, and I loved it. And I loved every single moment. I loved everything that we got, and I like how they tied everything into the whole fight with Deku and Overhaul. Now, it happened in the manga, and I felt like I thought they were going to kind of make it kind of long, but I like the way that they did it. Like, we got bits and pieces of other stuff in this episode, but this whole episode was mainly their fight. And boy, was it a fight. It was a fight. We got to see Overhaul like constantly reconstruct and deconstruct stuff the whole episode. And we also got to see 100% full power, full cowling, one for all. And Deku going ham. And oh boy, it was so beautiful. Visually, I know I'm saying a lot, but visually it was absolutely stunning, man. And I loved every single moment of it. The only thing I didn't feel like I know they were trying to emphasize on the whole Overhaul thing. The only thing is it kind of, in certain scenes for me, I kind of got lost in translation of what he was doing. Overall, I loved the whole episode, and you understood once they finished everything, but like just certain times when they was just flipping through the camera and showing different angles and shots, I kind of got lost a little bit on Overhaul, but that's just me. I mean, it may not have been the same thing for everyone else, but we also got a backstory. We learned that Eri's mom abandoned her because she killed her dad, because she evaporated him, because she couldn't, like, she kind of reverted him back to nothing because she can't control her powers. And it was a nice connection to Deku as well, because we remember when we were first introduced to him having all for one, one for all, not all for one, having one for all, he couldn't control it at all either. He just used it full power, and then consequences be damned. But now he can control it a little bit, and Eri can't control it at all, and she's just releasing it the whole time, constantly, and it was nice to see that. Now, then we get a big flashback of Chisaki and Eri and his father and her grandfather, and he didn't agree with Chisaki at all. Chisaki? Anyway, Chisaki. He didn't agree with him at all. But because he had a plan in motion and mind and set and everything, and he didn't care, and he just wanted to pay him back for taking him in, he instituted this plan where he didn't care about Eri or people or at all in any faction. And the one thing that I really loved was that his adoptive father stated was, don't do this plan because Eri's a person. Have you not considered that? And that was one of the things that I really was didn't like about Chisaki's character. I mean, it makes him a great villain. He makes him a great villain, but as overall as a person, I mean, we know that he didn't care about anything except for rebuilding the Yakuza, and his foster father made that very, very known, and it was so nice for them to emphasize on that this episode as well. It was like, she's a person. Does that not go into consideration at all for you? And we saw through this whole episode in previous episodes where he was breaking down the people that was following him and using them as flunkies and scapegoats and everything. He doesn't care about anyone. He doesn't even care about himself. Let's be real. He doesn't care about himself, but he cares about rebuilding the Yakuza and everything. That's the only thing in his mind, and that's what he focuses on. But this fight, man, this fight. And I love to see the fact that Night Eye's prediction was wrong. It's semi-right, but it's wrong. But I love the fact that we got 100% full Cowling, man. I love it that we got 100% and Deku was going ham. Then the full screen where like he threw up multiple fists and he just started rocking Chisaki. He started rocking Chisaki and it was going ham. And then that one scene where they showed like a real close-up and it was highlighted and it was dark at the same time, where he was getting ready to throw the final blow. Come on, man. This whole episode was absolutely fantastic. But at the same time, I can't help but think about, in the back of my mind, everything that's going to happen next week, because I know what's coming and I'm so heartbroken on my side, man. I'm just being real. But this is your boy, Dick Incredible, man. Don't forget to smash that like button till you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them, and subscribe. But only if you really want to, man. Remember that anime matters, anime is greatness, and anime is life. And we got 100% one for all. Full Cowling, baby. This is your boy, Dick Incredible, man. Peace out.